This is Castor's second session with the saddle. So I want to do kind of the same thing I did last time. I'm just going to build up the amount of time that I can put the saddle on his back while he stands still. And he's been wanting to kind of walk away, or not necessarily walk away, he's taking like a step and or like kind of leaning when I get to 3 seconds while it's on his back. So that's what I want to work on in this session. So I'm just going to start just like I did before. I'm going to have him target the saddle with his nose. There I had him target it with his neck. And then I'll start putting it on his back here. There we go. He kind of leaned toward the saddle with his neck slash withers. That was perfect. He's getting pretty good at that. And I want him to touch it on his own just so it builds up a little bit of confidence. So on his back, 1 second, click, and then I'll take it off. And then I'm just going to kind of build through that behavior again, like I did in the previous video. So 1 second, click, take it off. And if you want to fast forward through this, because I'm just going to review what I did in the last saddling video, but if you want real-time training, I'm not going to fast forward. I'm just going to leave it in here. But if you want to, you can fast forward a couple minutes and see where we're at with the new 3 seconds. So, and then he started turning his head and kind of looking at it. So I'm not sure what he's thinking at this point. So 1, 2, 3, click. So because he in the last session he wanted to kind of walk forward. This time he wants to kind of look at it. So I don't know if he's just getting bored. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna wait for him. Click. I'm gonna wait just another second more because I want that head straight. So put the saddle on. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna help him out. Click. I brought my right hand out so he could target it. When his head was straight, I clicked him. So put it back on. 1, 2, 3. Click. There, I had that hand out already so that I could keep his head straight. I could also be using a cone. That probably would have been a little bit easier. I think I do use one in here in a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to take it off and not click because I don't want the head to be part of it. So then I'll go back on for 2 seconds and then I will click again. So put it back on, and then I'm just going to take it off when he's turning his head because I'm not sure if he's 1, 2, 3, click. I'm going to reward that because his head was straight. I'm not sure if that's like, oh, I'm a little worried about what that is, or I really want to touch it with my nose. I think it's the second one. I really want to touch it with my nose because I've been rewarding him for that. But I don't want him to get in the habit of turning his head there. That was what I wanted. I want him head straight, and then I'm okay with the head down too. I like the head down. He doesn't necessarily have to have it, but I'm happy that it's in there. I just want head straight because I just don't want him to start having this habit of put the saddle on and he turns and looks at it. It's not dangerous or anything. I mean, I guess it could be if he turned and then he turned away to his left and swung around, his butt would like swing around into me. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think this is coming from a place of worry. I just rather his head be straight. Um, so that's what we're working on now. So just working through a little bit of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, click. That was really nice. I took my hands off of the saddle completely because before I'd been holding on to it. He kept his head straight and he put his head down. So I'm really, really, really happy with that one. That looks really good. So many reallys, but I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, on 1, 2, 3, 4, click, take it off. Yeah, fantastic. Go ahead and feed him. He looks pretty relaxed, so I don't think that he was moving from a place of worry. I think he either thought when I counted the three, I wanted him to do something else, or he thought there was some kind of forward movement in it, and I think he just wants to touch the saddle on his own. So like here, he's going ahead and touching it, and I'm just kind of waiting for him to chew a bit. So I think that was just him thinking I wanted something else. And then as far as touching the saddle, I think he, again, just thought I wanted him to target it. And he's been rewarded for targeting things with his nose so much, I think that's what it was. So I'm just waiting for him there to put his head down. I took it off. I didn't click because he was turning to look at it. So yeah, watching this back, again, I'm going to do this, take it off. Watching this back, I can see a whole picture of his body language. I think he just wants to target with his nose, especially now because he's turning his head to it and wanting to touch it. I don't think he's worried about it. I think he just thinks he's supposed to target it with his nose. That was better. I think he just thinks the saddle comes on and then I need to do something. Like he needs to target it, he needs to walk forward, and I need to show him that I want him to stand still. So he did a tiny baby half step, but he's got his head straight, so I'm going to go ahead and reward, but you want to be careful. You don't want to reward too much of that and create a walking behavior. There we go. I like that better. He had a little tiny bit of a lean, but I like that, again, his head was straight and kind of down, kind of lowered. So he's making some progress. I decided to whip out the cone to kind of help him focus. have him keep him straight, and then use that as maybe a little, I lost the cone, a little start button. So usually I don't do a lot of start buttons with Castor because he's usually game for whatever, and he'll just kind of stand there and he wants to participate a lot more than like Atlas. But I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna ask him to touch the cone. One, two, three. He has a little bit of movement there, so I just waited till he stopped. I might not have necessarily had wanted to reinforce that, but already did. So I just want to be careful with that. I don't want to reinforce him walking or leaning or doing any of that because I don't want that behavior. Okay, I guess I'm not going to use the start button. There, I am going to click him for touching the cone though. 'Cause, so I need to be a little bit more clear with that because I need to be clear with him. Do I want to use a start button or do I want to use that to keep him straight?